I used to spend far too long on Facebook. First thing after switching on my laptop, I would open Facebook, scroll down through the banalities of other people's lives, and then add my own contribution. I would chat to people to whom I had very little to say, and for the rest of the day, Facebook would run in the background of my laptop and of my mind. More than occasionally, I would revisit the site and get the latest updates on the mediocrity of smiling selfies and fake news trying to pass themselves off as excitement and importance. Be envious of me and be outraged by this. It was my daily emotional fix. Maybe it's yours now. If so, you might be interested in the 7 things that I did to take control of Facebook. I decided to work out how much time I actually spent on Facebook. Not just the site running in the background, but how much time I actually participated by reading, scrolling, commenting, and chatting. It was a rough calculation that came to about 2.5 hours per day. I was shocked and frankly disgusted with myself. I thought of all the productive things I could have done in that time. It amounted to almost 1 day a week on Facebook. Something had to be done. So began a process that took almost a year to complete. My first attempt was just to instantly stop using Facebook, not visit the site at all. It didn't work. Too much of my social life revolved around Facebook. It would be the equivalent of locking myself in a room and throwing away the key. So first thing, realize Facebook has to be managed, not eliminated. This is true in the short term at least. My next approach was to look at all the groups and pages I followed, with the intention of unfollowing those that couldn't, by their content, convince me to continue following. By using the approach of unfollow unless proven interesting and relevant, rather than follow unless I had a reason not to, allowed me to get rid of many more groups and pages that, frankly, I didn't have an interest in. So the first step is sort through your groups and pages. Unfollow unless there is a genuine interest. The obvious next step was to do the same with my Facebook friends. At the time, I had just over 500 so-called friends on Facebook. It took almost no time at all to rid myself of around 250 of them. These were the people I had met no more than once or twice, or even not at all. Thinking back, I honestly cannot remember not even 1/4 of all of those people I unfriended, which shows how much they really meant to me, and probably me to them. I had reduced my friend number down to around 250, along with a handful of pages and groups. So, the second step, sort through your friends, set a low benchmark as to what constitutes a friend, and anyone who doesn't even reach that low benchmark, unfriend. The immediate impact of these 2 actions was that my newsfeed didn't update so often. There became less need to visit Facebook. This, I quickly discovered, is the secret of success. Make Facebook look and feel as boring as it really is. In no time at all, I got to see the true face of Facebook, a boring stream of trivia that rapidly goes stale. However, I was still spending far too much time writing comments and, I'm ashamed to say, contributing to online arguments. The solution to this I found in the activity log. At the end of every month, I would delete all the comments I had made during the previous 4 weeks or so. I used to do this on occasion anyway, but deleting every comment at the end of every month can take a lot of time. It can be disturbing to see a very long list of your monthly Facebook activities. I would put on some music, and some 20 or 30 songs later, I would have purged my monthly FB activity. It didn't take me long to realize that every comment I made, every discussion I contributed to, would add to the mindless process of individually, laboriously having to delete those words at the end of the month. Inevitably, I became very selective with what I commented on. Soon, 30 songs became 20 and then 10. Now the songs play on long after my monthly comments have been deleted. So the third step is use your activity log and set aside time to delete all your monthly Facebook use. I found and installed FB Purity. It's a piece of software that allows you to control what you see on your Facebook profile. It takes some time to get your head around because it allows you to switch on or off almost all of the components of Facebook. And believe me, Facebook has a lot of components. FB Purity really helped me see how invasive and persuasive Facebook really is. So get FB Purity. The link is in the description. Install it and play around with it. It really makes a difference. I also set an alarm on my phone.
Gary, it's 10:30. That means it's time to switch off your social media.
Each night at 10:30, I would switch off all my social media, spending the last couple of hours before bed actually socializing with real people face to face, or just on my own reading a book. I recommend you do the same thing. Set an alarm for a couple of hours before bed and respect it. Switch everything off. My biggest challenge was getting rid of that last batch of contacts, the high benchmark friends. These were the friends that I had shared many happy times with, but in a world without Facebook, people with whom I would have naturally lost touch. With Facebook, there they still were. Souvenirs of a good time that I was hoarding because I couldn't quite bear to let them go. I decided to unfollow them rather than unfriend them. It gave me the comfort zone of knowing that they were still around, but I didn't have to think about them. Truthfully, I had done nothing more than shelve the problem. It was around this time that news stories of Facebook privacy issues were coming to the fore. Cambridge Analytica was making the headlines, but face recognition, targeted ads, and a host of other disturbing aspects of Facebook were making my skin crawl. I figured that the less Facebook friends I had, the less connections Facebook could make that included me, and the less assumptions it could make about me. These outdated friends needed to go, but I needed a plan to decide who gets the chop. The plan was a simple one. I posted 2 announcements on my profile homepage that were visible to just my friends. These announcements informed my friends that I was cutting down my use of Facebook, and that I needed the people who saw these posts to respond. The announcements were posted on different days and at different times to ensure as many friends as possible saw what I was doing. Those people who didn't respond to any of the posts were unfriended. It was obvious that they had already moved on from me, so it was time to return the favor and let them become happy memories. So, find out who of your friends are not following you, and then decide if you should unfriend them. Something else I began to do was to sign out of Facebook rather than just close the window. By signing out, you have to go through the process of signing in each time you visit the site. That little inconvenient irritation gave me that 15-second pause to think, do I really need to go onto Facebook? So, sign out. Don't just close the Facebook window. Almost a year on from the start of this process, I have control of Facebook. I only use it to post on my author page and my English language learning page. I still use it to chat with friends, but these are my real friends whom I care about and I know care about me. And I still make the occasional comment, but I haven't posted on my personal profile since April 2018. I am free of Facebook, so now I have time to write more and make more videos, just like this one.